Hello there, Aries. My name's Frankie. I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and an empath. This reading's for Aries for January of 2020. Happy New Year's, Aries. I cannot believe how fast everything just went by. Well, for everybody who's new out there, we pull five cards actually. We use the bottom card on the deck for the overall view of the month. We'll pull an angel card at the end of the reading to hopefully bring everything together for us. Look at your moon sign and your rising sign. You get a more comprehensive view of the month. And I don't believe that the cards are going to go week by week. I think they'll blend in and out throughout the month like an overall theme. And because I'm an empath, I have a speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you. Makes all of us Aries named Frankie for the time of the reading. I have a short message for us, and the message is kind of odd. It's that we are the only one that is responsible for ourselves. That means our reputation, everything around us. And if we lead everything this year with a sense of compassion, right, for everybody and everything in our lives, I think we're like going about it not only to enhance ourselves, but like a projection for the future that's gonna bring back good karma. That's kind of how it feels. We have good words here. They're transformation, wisdom, play, kindness, and creativity. And I think kindness kind of lends itself to that original message there. And cleaning up karma's transformation, and it takes a lot of wisdom, and we Aries have gained a lot, you know. So even if the month was a little tough, and I don't believe it's going to be, I think we're going to overcome it just by using our integrity. Just through that, we will overcome and almost like overcompensate and be rewarded because we kept everything in check, if that makes any kind of sense. And that's not a bow on my head. That's the little Christmas tree behind me, but I realize I look like I have a bow on the top of my head. Really cute, huh? Well, here you go, Aries. Here's our first card here, and it's the Fool. So I guess we're starting off on a new path or a new journey forward from everything I think that we've done, or like it's like a refresh, restart, and everything is going well because we feel like we're out of sync with the entire world. We want to go out on our own. It's like full speed ahead. So what that word was, lead with compassion. We might feel like we're separated from the general group, or what other people feel. Like we're feeling like a loner, that kind of energy that goes along with it. But a lot of times we do feel like loners. It's like we're going to do it. It's just because of our experience of whatever's going on. The current situation is not what other people see, feel, or hear. So it's that marching to the beat of a different drummer. We're going to change something here, and we need to honor it. We need to honor that fact because this is about us. No one else is responsible for us but us this month. So because of that, I think that we should be authentic, be our Aries self, lead with compassion like that original message. And I think the wisdom, like our word, and the transformation, and it's gonna jack up our creativity in some manner. It's pretty sunny in here today, so the glare is all over the card, but it's just telling us, pay attention. Even though everyone else is seeing things in one way and we're seeing them another, pay attention to how we're seeing them. Because the fool, he's going to jump right off the cliff. We all know this. His little dog's trying to stop him, but the little dog's going with him. He only has one little bag packed and he's going to jump. Now there's a lot of crazy energy I'm feeling, even around our first original message. And it's not a bad message. It's actually a good message. So with that in mind, I'm going to say, don't keep on the rose-colored glasses when I make the leap. Make sure I weigh all the pros and cons, and we're really good at that. We're really good at digging in, finding pros and cons, and if the cons outweigh the pros, don't take the path. I almost said that backwards. If the pros outweigh the cons, take it. Because it's a really strong energy, and it feels like it's leading me forward to some type of a transformational energy that's going to enhance my creativity and give me a lot more knowledge that goes with our words wisdom. So it's a different way, like a different way. It's not an angry energy. It's more of, this is the way I see it. So this is the way I'm going to do it to keep my integrity, my own authority about the path that I am moving forward on. If that makes sense. Now, I don't know if these are work, love relationships. I really don't know. There's a little bit of severe type energy in it, but remember that even with that, we're going to end up coming out on top. So whatever's coming down here, it's going to change like the game plan and set us up really well, I believe, for the new year. So, because our next card here, whoops, putting my elbow on my angel cards here. I'm going to throw them all over the floor. Next card we got here is a card of nostalgia. It's a Six of Cups, and that's emotional energy. Now we have no other emotional energy in this whole entire reading. So it might come off a little emotional, but it's not emotional energy. So it's about looking backwards over times that have gone by. It's like sentimentally remembering things, the comforting memories, the pleasant memories that come along with that. But they can help us to like bring forward a much better future that we could build on. Because if we know we've been happy in the past, we know we'll be happy, that there's a happiness for us in the future. So we might be looking back over the last year or experiencing some kinds of feelings that are connected to our past, because I said cups energy is emotion. What is the emotion? So we'd be feeling calm about it, like calm and collected about any past events that have went before, and we'd be putting them in perspective. So remember what they said about bringing ourselves good karma. So putting them into perspective and beginning to understand, like the Fool card, beginning to understand how they can make a better future and a better now, a better present and a better future. I think about this card. I always think about I was in trouble all the time as a kid. My dad was always yelling at me. I think they call that kind of like child abuse now, but back then it was like normal. I was always getting my butt kicked for something bad. But if I waited it out, which I found out, as I aged, if you wait it out, everything kind of works. How do I want to say this? Works out in the wash. That's the way I want to say it. So if I did something bad, later on in the day, my dad would get preoccupied with something else, and he was nice to me again. It's that kind of energy, because I'm always telling you, I got screamed at all the way to the family reunion. At the end of it, I'm like, oh brother, I'm in trouble. He gets out the car, goes, has fun with his friends and family. I go play with my cousins and everybody who's there, and the whole way back home, it's great. So look into the past for those pleasant memories, the pleasant ones, no matter how bad our past was. There might, even if it was horrible, there might be one moment that we were left alone, left to our own devices, where nobody was bugging us, and how nice it was just to sit and be able to think, you know? Because I think we're going to make, or be alone, or be able to be a little creative by ourselves without anybody on our butts. Because I think that's what it's going to all be about. We're going to decide what in the past was the things that wanted me to, maybe with a fool, maybe wanted me to stay in a relationship, wanted me to um, be nicer to my parents so I wouldn't get in trouble all the time, even if they were mean to me. That kind of energy. Look over it and look at it clearly for, were they trying to protect me? Were they this? Were they that? But put a better spin on it. And when I do, I can take that one little spot and it can make my present better, right? That leading with compassion. They keep telling me to, repeat that word. Lead everything with compassion. And that goes for myself and everyone else, around me. Because the next card here is the Five of Pentacles. And that's like, this is the one tough card out of all the pentacle energy. All the rest of them are pretty good, because this one can mean losses, maybe spiritual bankruptcy, problems in business, material lack in some manner or form, or at least we may feel like it. It just feels not good. The word's unfavorable that's used, but it's a warning sometimes that money might get a little tight. It's a new year. Things are changing, Uh, maybe losses from things that we invested in that weren't thought totally through. So we might want to look, if we're investing, what did we not think it all the way through? Did we think, oh, that's a good idea, and just decided to jump on it? It can sometimes be support that we were counting on doesn't come to us, So we were really counting on it. So what I think, whenever I see this card, the first thing that pops into my head or into my mind is, did I foresee this coming, right? First and foremost, did I foresee it coming? Then next, I would want to say, did I prepare for it if I thought it might come? Did I prepare for it? The next thing is, there is always help with this card. So the card to me means have a backup plan. Have a backup plan. The premise behind this card is, this is a church and the light's shining out. These people are usually in the snow and bleeding and crying and have nothing, and they're that destitute type energy. But all they had to do was turn around and walk through, and there was help. So I think have a backup plan. Was I planning on buying a new car at the beginning of the year? And then all of a sudden they tell me, you can't have this new car or whatever, because our bank's not going to loan the money to you unless the interest rate is pushed up way pushed up, way too high. So I'd go to a bunch of banks and I'd have a backup. If they were trying to push me into something, I'd have a backup plan, so I could go the other way. If somebody was going to go into partnership with me, they were going to put money in. Let's say there were several people that wanted to go into partnership with me, but I picked Anna, let's say. I pick Anna, but the last minute Anna bails out. I know out of the three people that came to me that, let's say, wanted to go into partnership with me, that another one of them was good also. So I would immediately contact George and say, George, you know that deal that I was talking with you about a couple weeks ago and you said you were really interested? Are you still interested? I'd always have a backup plan. And I wouldn't be afraid if I needed help, I wouldn't be afraid to ask because I'm leading with compassion. I'm ruling with compassion, right? And kindness at every single moment of this month. And that's going to transform my life. So it's maybe not a matter of worry as much as it's a matter of backup. The only person, right, I'm responsible for is me, my integrity. That doesn't mean everybody else in the world has the same integrity as we Aries. You know, I kind of think looking at this, maybe it's going to be either a love thing, perhaps, or maybe a work energy. And I think for a lot of us, it might be a work type energy, or it might be, did I really like research investment, which would be the same thing as my work. Let's say if I'm retired, did I really research that? Did I keep my eyes on my stockbroker? Did I watch the numbers in the paper? Were they going down? Were they going up? Am I making that kind of decision? My backup plan. Those are just examples. It's not something that I'm saying is happening, you know, but that ruling with compassion. I want the good karma. I want the success this year, no matter where it's at, in relationships, right? Or work, you know, money, finances, whatever, because these are just general readings. I want things to transform, but I'm going to do it with my integrity, because the only person, it's my reputation, right? And I lead with kindness and compassion. Doesn't mean I still can't compete, but I will compete in, the way they're saying it to me is, I will compete in right manner if it has to do with work. Because our next card here is another five. And this is, fives are about freedom, creativity, you know, getting ready for movement forward. And we have that full card in there. So we have two fives right now. So this is like the double-edged sword. One of like being defeat, misfortune, what are the other words? Betrayal or loss. But on the other hand, of learning to accept the boundaries or limitations that we all have to face in our life or just live with. You know, it's like life's unavoidable limitations, you know, or maybe somebody just disappointed us, you know, but if they disappointed us, we might have been expecting too much. We Aries really expect a lot. We give a lot and we expect. Everyone else has the same integrity that we do. We're very rarely, if ever, unless you did something to us, like on the lookout, because we keep our integrity high. So this fives are always about adjusting too. So this is five is like a period of adjusting, a like for some kind of challenge that was brought on by some type of distress or loss, you know, maybe competing, like an uncomfortable process, but a necessary process. Maybe a competition at work for a job or something, but I still got to keep my eye on the prize and that, you know, do it with compassion rolling. Change's part of life. The more the more we resist it, the more difficult we make the change, you know? And that's what it's about. These five energies, So whatever it is we're challenged for, or calling, whatever it is that's calling for us to change, whatever's being challenged, with us, whether it's something we want to change, like our lifestyle, our philosophy, inner beliefs about ourselves. They can be limiting beliefs about ourselves. These are the things that now's the time for us to just get to work, you know, and change them. Change those things. Change the things in our daily life that no longer feel suitable for this new path, for how they want me to say it, suitable for the new path forward. We have the card of nostalgia so in there too. So maybe some of the things that worked in the past are not going to work in these new energies, because everybody's going away. He has all he has three swords in his hand, see? And the other two are laying there on the ground. Everybody walked away from it. I'm the one that led, with my head held high in this, you know, and I will do the defeat or whatever it is I want to do for the future, because right underneath it, this Fool card is the Lover's card. So whatever I'm going to do in the future, I would have people that would help me, that would stand beside me, stand up for me, that kind of an energetics, and that propels us forward because of that leading with compassion, and I'm the one that's responsible for my reputation, my, integrity. It's that kind of energy. Feels pretty strong. It's kind of a little bit strange, but you'll see why it feels strong, because we have, these two swords energies. Next we have the Queen of Swords, which this is like she's a figure of power, she's a figure of authority, he or she. So it's going to be air energy, it'll be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius type energy that's around us, but it's authority in the mental realm, male or female, right? Um, or it could be in the spiritual realm too. I wasn't thinking about that. It's a helpful kind of energy. It can represent loss, like our Five of Pentacles, or bereavement, that could be what's going on. Looking at this could be like a dispute, perhaps for some of us, looking at all this, like a dispute, looking at the way these cards are lined up, a dispute about inheritance for some reason, for whatever reason, with her in here too, her, him, whatever, that kind of energy, but coming out on top when it's all said and done, and people working together in unison. It's like it can indicate personal loss, like emotional loss, like separation, divorce, which would make sense with that Five of Pentacles and the Five of Swords, because I'm coming out on top of it, but it may be a stressful, tough time, that kind of energy. Um, it can be emotional loss, separation type energy, divorce, widowhood sometimes for some of us. If it's a person in our life, they're extremely strong-willed. They can stand up on their own. They can go through a devastating loss or a devastating betrayal of any kind, any way, shape, or form, and use it in order to propel themselves forward in the future, because they will realize that the painful experience or event could be seen as inner growth in the end. And usually is especially true if you have an ace, but we don't have any aces. But for some of us, I'm going to repeat that may be, like some kind of fight that we're going through, and we're thinking, how could things be going so good before, and then all of a sudden, no. It could also be This is usually the emotional realm of air energy, where the King of Swords is different. This would be the emotion of it, but the Queen of Swords energy, right? If I was standing up for myself, let's say she was a boss. Let's do it like that. This is my boss, and I'm standing up for myself. I'd have the facts in my hand. Remember, it's about my reputation, my integrity. She, I gotta say it like that, wants the facts and the facts only. Don't give me any of that emotional crying, boo-hoo and stuff, when you're coming to talk to me. Have you know, present your case is what they're saying. Present your case, right? But present it with the facts, and don't tell me about she made me cry, he made me upset. Don't give me that. Show me. That's that reputation. I'm responsible for my own stuff, but have the facts to back up anything. If there's any type of dispute energy, anything that goes along with that, keep keep this is a stable, strong feet on the ground. No emotion involved, right? If it's a situation I'm dealing with, I have my facts, I got my backup. If I'm going for a new position or something like that, don't keep my head up in the air. Don't go crying when you got this type of energy. Just do it. Show me why you're doing it and present it to me in a way that makes sense, and then I get what I want. I get what I want, because the Queen of Swords is up there. Usually this card in my old deck, she's sitting on a throne with the sword out in front of her, and she's got a rope that's tied that she's chopped off. So she has a look on her face like, come on, I'm either going to knight you or cut off your head. But you never know which one. But it's very clear cut. Thinks on its feet, just like that King of Swords energy, has the facts to back up anything. So stability, straightforwardness, and a backup plan, using the good things out of my past in order to have a better present and a better future, right? And the backup plan. And then I get the fresh new start of the Fool, where I've weighed the pros, I've weighed the cons, and I know what I am hearing and feeling is the right projection forward for me. How you do that is through stability, Aries. Stability. Our angel card is ground yourself. Feet on the ground, Aries. It says, when you detach from awareness of your body in the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, your attention and work are needed upon the earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earth life. Oh gosh, Aries, I don't know what's going on, but we're going to start our year off with a great big bang, I think. I think we are, and we're going to figure it out, manage it, and make our present, whatever it is we don't want in our life, we're cutting out. We got two swords energies in here, so we'd be cutting it out and starting that forward momentum with collaboration and cooperation, because of that Lover's card being down underneath it is what they said to say. This card's a signal that your energy and attention need to be grounded. If you've been feeling spacey, confused, or forgetful, this card speaks to the reason. Ungroundedness means that your attention is directed up too high, as if you're not in your body. A balance is needed between a focus on spirit and a focus on earth. You can ground yourself by walking barefoot on grass or soil, eating foods from the ground like potatoes or carrots, by rubbing your bare feet, by touching a tree or a plant, or by visualizing roots coming from the bottom of your feet into the earth. Grounding will help you better concentrate and focus. It will also increase your connections to the angels. Spend time gardening, work with flower essences, just diet and other lifestyle habits so that they support your mental and physical awareness, and make sure the words you speak or write are practical, grounded, and understandable. She's very, that energy, it's like boom, in your face stuff. Be down to earth and authentic in your relationships. That's our original message. Send love and light to Earth. I was going to say Mother Aries. Well, Aries, that's our reading for January. I want to tell you all thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anybody wants to know more about me, go Neb about me, or if you need to set an appointment with me. All the information's down below the screen at the website. There's 2 short videos over there about the prayer class. One's about the prayer class, the other about the suture classes I put out there for you guys. Prayer class, it explains them. They're like 6 minutes, 5 minutes long. Sutras are thought forms that enhance the clear perceptions. You put in a 5-minute meditation a day. It really works. The prayer class is very comprehensive. It explains how, why, what, the way to format prayer, why it works that way. It's 2.5 hours long. That's over at the website too. So to all of you I've met through 3 whole years of doing YouTubes, and to everybody I've met through 31 years of doing this work, I want to tell you, it's been an honor, a privilege, a pleasure, and a joy to be able to serve you. Hopefully I'll see you back here next month. Bye-bye.